to take a look at a method for adding wind rustling and wind swaying. A lot of you have noticed that the tree trunk that we have here is swaying back and forth in the wind, but our foliage volume of leaves is staying stationary. And so what we're going to do today is match the movement of that trunk with our foliage volume. In episode 12, we already talked about how to make the leaves animate. And if I zoom in here, you can see that the leaves are kind of wiggling back and forth. And that effect is done in the pixel shader. But what we're going to do today is create an effect that animates the vertices. And there are actually two effects that we're going to apply. We're going to apply a little bit of wind wiggle, and then we're going to apply some wind sway, which is what you can see the trunk doing right now. So let's switch over to our shader. And everything that we've done so far has been in the pixel shader, but today we're going to focus on this node here, the world position offset. So let's just move all of this out of the way and come down here to the bottom where we have a little bit more space. And we're going to focus on the wind rustling or wind wiggle first, since this is a fairly easy thing to do. I'm going to add a node called SimpleGrassWind. And you can see when I add this, it asks me for wind intensity, wind weight, wind speed, and then an additional mask. For intensity, I'm just going to give it a constant value of 0.7. And for the wind weight, I'm just going to give it a constant value of 0.1. So we'll plug these values in. And then this mask down here, additional WPO, I'm just going to drag the red channel of my diffuse texture. And this is just to give the movement a little bit of noise and some randomness. And so now with that SimpleGrassWind set up, I can drag the result here and plug it into world position offset. Alright, so now we get our result, and you can see that our SimpleGrassWind is wiggling our foliage planes. To be able to visualize this just a little bit better, I'm going to get rid of the opacity mask so that we can see exactly what the foliage planes are doing. So I'm just going to disconnect our opacity mask here. Yeah, and so now you can see that that SimpleGrassWind node is just kind of jiggling our polygons just a little bit to give the effect that the wind is like rustling the leaves. So we have two types of rustle happening now. We have the wiggle that we did in episode 12 at the pixel level, and we also have rustling at the vertex level, which makes for some really nice complex leaf movement. Alright, the next thing that we're going to do is create the sway. And this effect is significantly more complex, so I hope that you'll have some patience as we put together a fairly complicated node graph down here at the bottom of our shader. The first thing that I want to do is add a node called RotateAboutAxis. And what this node will do is it'll take the vertices and rotate them about a specific axis that I give it. So for the rest of the tutorial, what we're going to be doing is filling in these four inputs of the RotateAboutAxis node. We have the normalized rotation axis, the rotation angle, we have the pivot point to rotate around, and we have the position of the vertices. So this is what we're going to do for the next few minutes. So first of all, this position one is fairly easy. I can just take the world position of our vertices and plug that right into the position node. Next we have our pivot point, and the pivot point is kind of interesting. You might think that we would use the object position for the pivot point, but in this case we're going to use the origin of the mesh. So when we talk about object position, the vegetation of our tree has a pivot that's kind of like right here in the middle of the volume, but the whole tree itself has an origin, which is down here where you can see our pivot point. And what we want to do is pivot the vegetation around this point down here, not the object position of the vegetation, which is kind of in the center of the volume here. So in order to get this origin point, what we're going to do is we're going to add a constant 3 vector of 0, 0, 0. And then we're going to transform that from local space to world space. So I'm going to add a transform vector node. And I'm going to change the settings from, instead of tangent, I'm going to change it to local. And instead of, and I'm going to leave this one as world space. So we're going from local to world space. And then I'm going to take this value, and this is my pivot point. So I want my vegetation to rotate around the pivot point of the tree. Alright, next we're going to create our normalized rotation axis. And in order to do that, I need to do a cross product between the wind direction and the up direction. And that will give the axis of rotation. So first I need to bring in my wind node. And when I bring in my wind, you can see here I have this vector called normalized wind vector. And if I do a cross product between the wind vector and the up direction, that will give me my rotation axis. So I'm going to add another constant 3 vector, and the up direction, as you know, is 0, 0, 1. And I'm going to transform that from local space to world space, just like I did here. Then I'm going to do a cross product between this and my wind vector. And I need to normalize this. And now I have a vector that I can rotate my vertices around. So I'm going to plug that into the normalized rotation axis. And I just realized that I made a mistake here. This is a position instead of a vector, and I'm using the transform vector node. So I need to go back here and fix this. I need to use a transform position instead of transform vector. So I'm going to transform my position from local space to absolute world space. There we go. Just fix that right up. Okay, and lastly we have our rotation angle. So for now I'm just going to give this a rotation angle of 1, and I want to take a look and see what our result is. Alright, I can't really tell if anything has happened here, so let's maybe go back to our shader and increase our value. So right now we have a rotation angle of 1. Maybe if we set this to something like 1.5, we'll get a different result. Well, yeah, that result is different, alright. I wonder where our tree leaves went. So right now we have the tree leaves that are down under the ground. And the reason this is happening is because a value of 1.5 is very close to 180 degrees in radians. And so we've just rotated our tree leaves like 180 degrees basically. So let's switch back to the shader and do a little bit more work. So we've rotated our leaves all the way around, and we need to work a little bit on this rotation angle. So we know that a value of 1.5 is like a lot, and we need to tone it down a little bit, and we also need to animate it. Now we're going for this effect of tree leaf sway, which implies that the leaves are going back and forth and back and forth. And a really easy way to do sway or back and forth is with a sine wave. So we're going to work on some sine waves. I'm going to add a sine here, and we're just going to kind of build this up a little bit. So I need to take the dot product of my pivot point here and my wind vector. And then I need to divide this by a constant value. And this value is going to control the overall size of my swaying. So I'm just going to give it a value of 4.2. Yeah, 4.2 is good. And then I'm going to take my wind speed here and multiply that. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of control over the speed. So I'm going to add another constant value here. And for the wind speed, I'm going to multiply that by maybe 1.1, maybe 1.13. Okay, then I'm going to add these two values together. And this is going to give me my phase for the sine wave. So I'm going to plug this into sine, and then I'm going to use this for the rotation angle. So let's plug this in and see what we get. We should see the tree leaves animating in the wind back and forth. Alright, so you can see we are definitely going back and forth, but we're a little bit nuts right now, so we need to tone things down a little bit. I'm going to add in some multipliers to kind of get control of this crazy sine wave. So before my value goes into the sine wave, I'm going to add a multiplier here. And we're just going to multiply this value by a constant of 0.1. And then after it comes out of the sine wave, we're going to add another multiplier here to kind of control the result. And I'm going to multiply this by a constant of 0.1 as well. Alright, let's take a look at this now that we've toned everything down quite a bit. Alright, so you can see we're getting a little bit more realistic results, although this is some pretty high wind that's bending the tree this far. So we might want to tone it down even a little bit more than this. Let's take a look at what we can do. I think what I want to try to do next is control the amount of sway so that the leaves at the top of the tree move more than the leaves at the bottom of the tree. This is what happens. Instead of everything pivoting around that origin point 100%, the tree trunk is much more rigid at the bottom. So the further away from the pivot we go, the more sway there's going to be. So we can control that by adding a multiplier here after our rotation. So I'm going to add a multiply, and now we need to compute the distance that we are away from the top of the tree, or away from the origin. So I'm going to take a distance node, and we're going to compute the distance from the origin point to our current position. And then we're going to divide this by the object radius. And then we're going to square this, or raise it to a power of 2. We're just going to multiply it by itself. And then we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a control here. I'm just going to add a constant multiplier so that we can use this to control the amount of sway. We're going to give this a really small value just to keep things under control. So I'm going to give it a value of 0.005. And we're going to wire this into our multiply, and then this value will be what we use for our rotation or sway. Alright, so now you can see that we've brought things significantly more under control. Our sway is just like really subtle. I don't know if you can even see it, but it is swaying, but it's just swaying just a little bit. Now, one issue with the way that our sway works right now is a sine wave is very constant. So it goes back and forth in a very steady motion. And what we would like to do is make this feel a little bit organic so that it's not like a perfect sine wave. And the way that we can do that is by adding a second sine wave. So I'm going to add one more sine. And instead of passing in the same phase, I'm going to offset this phase just a little bit. So I'm going to add a constant value to the speed coming in. And normally when you offset a phase, you offset it by 0.5, but instead I'm gonna offset it by 0.45, let's see, 0.458. And this is just like a little bit less than half to give us some interesting variable movement. And then just like we did here, I'm gonna multiply this by a constant before and after the sine. So I'm gonna copy these 4 nodes here and wire this together like this. Pass it into our sine and then multiply it again after the sine. And now I can give myself some good values for the before and after sine multiplier. I think I'll leave this one at I'll leave this one at 0.1, but this one I'm going to change to 0.256. Okay, so this will give me a second sine wave, and I can take the results of my first sine wave and my second sine wave and just add them together. And then I can pass this into my rotation angle. All right, let's take a look at what we get. All right, so there you go. We've got some really nice swaying in the wind now. And you can see that our vegetation animation is now matching the trunk sway, and the leaves and the branches are moving together. So that's a really nice effect. And we can also come over here and take a look at our little forest that we created, and you can see that each of the trees is now swaying in the wind and the leaves are animated. So before we end today, let's just take one more look at what we did. We kind of created a mess with math here. We've got our 2 sine waves that are leading into our rotation angle so that's animated. And then we sway our tree by changing the amount of animation that happens depending on how far we are away from the pivot point. And we control our rotation with the normalized rotation axis, and we're rotating around the absolute world position here going into our rotation axis. We also have the SimpleGrassWind that's doing just a little bit of additional leaf wiggle, and that gives us our final result. There are a lot of values that you could expose as parameters here to control this. This value here, especially the amount of sway, is a really good one to expose. You could also potentially expose these 4 values that we're using to control our sine waves, so that you could adjust the way that the sine waves worked a little bit, and you could potentially expose these other 2 values as well to control the way that the wind affects the sine wave movement. All right, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial and that you're able to take this information and use it to animate the vertices of your own vegetation, that you can make your trees sway in the wind like this. It's pretty cool. If you like today's tutorial, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more tutorials like this. If you have some ideas for additional topics that you'd like to see me cover, be sure to put those in the comments down below, and I'll see you in next week's video, everybody. Thanks for watching.